Welcome back to The Deep Dive. This is where we take the source material you're curious about and, well, we really get into it to pull out the insights you need.
And today we're doing something a little different.
We are a fascinating detour. We're setting aside the usual reports and white papers. Instead, we are diving into a single short story, a piece written for very young learners. Our mission today is to look at excerpts from The Endless Sip of Comfort, and specifically the story inside it called The Cocoa Cup That Never Emptied.
Right.
And we really want to unpack its central lesson. How does this simple story teach kindness and emotional warmth? It's kind of a masterclass in telling a moral.
It really is.
Mhm.
And the setup is just so important to how it works. The story, it begins by making you feel the need for comfort like right away.
Okay.
Winter has hit Maple Hollow hard, and the school cafeteria feels cold. The description is, it's really vivid. Pink noses, kids' breath, puffing out like these tiny little clouds.
Even inside.
Even inside.
Yeah.
So that cold setting, it immediately establishes this very real physical need for warmth.
So against that backdrop, we have the discovery. Amidst, all the chaos of a school lunchroom, the main character, Mia, she spots something.
Something that just doesn't belong.
Exactly. It's a small brown cup of cocoa, just sitting there on the table, steaming gently, but it's completely untouched.
It feels like it's waiting for them.
It does. And the kids, of course, their curiosity is immediate. One of them, Max, he picks it up and just asks, "Whose cocoa is this?"
And this is where the story doesn't waste any time. Instead of some long mystery, we get this classic magical moment.
The cup speaks.
The cup speaks. It introduces itself simply as cocoa, and then it lays down the most important rule of this little universe. It says, I never, ever run out.
Which is such a brilliant move, that declaration of, non-scarcity. It changes everything.
It does. It completely removes any reason for greed or for fighting over it. The story sets the stage for sharing from the very beginning.
And then it gives its mission statement.
It does. It kind of jiggles and announces one sip for warm hands, one sip for warm hearts.
I love that. So it's telling you right up front, this is about more than just being cold. It's physical and emotional.
Precisely.
So Mia takes the first sip, the test of the magic.
A tiny sip.
And instantly, this warmth just fills her. The story describes it like being wrapped in a fluffy blanket, just immediate positive reinforcement.
But what I find so fascinating is how quickly the cocoa starts to personalize the comfort it's giving. It works on different levels for different kids.
What do you mean?
Well, when Harper drinks, her problem is very practical. Her socks are damp and cold from the snow.
Right.
She takes one sip, and they suddenly feel dry and toasty. So the magic solves this really basic physical discomfort first.
It's like it knows you have to fix the cold socks before you can work on anything deeper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then Toby takes a sip, and for him, the cocoa does something else entirely.
It's not physical for him.
No, it offers emotional support. It whispers to him, you're braver than you think.
Wow. So it's addressing an internal chill. Maybe some anxiety or, just shyness.
Right. It seamlessly goes from fixing wet socks to being a confidence coach.
And that idea of abundance, of it never running out, is reinforced by this lovely little detail.
Oh, the sound.
The sound, yeah. After every single turn, the cup refills with a soft plop.
Like a marshmallow falling into chocolate. It's just this constant, gentle reassurance, the kindness, the warmth. It's a renewable resource. It's always going to be there.
Okay, so the tool has been established. The kids understand it. Now the story has to teach them what to do with it.
And that takes us right into the next part, how they learn to share that comfort.
The narrative does something clever here. It makes the cup active. It's not just on the lunch table anymore.
No, it follows them outside to recess, just floating gently beside them. It goes from being a static object to a kind of mobile communal resource.
And its purpose expands. It's not just for them anymore. It starts providing these little acts of comfort for everyone.
Simple things. Warming frozen fingers after playing in the snow.
Comforting a scraped knee. Little practical acts of care.
And my favorite detail, it shows kindness to things that aren't even alive. It melts a tiny patch of ice, so a little penguin-shaped snow sculpture can stand up straight again.
That's so charming. It shows that the spirit here is about making the whole environment better, not just helping the kids.
Exactly. But then the focus shifts.
Right. The kids are warm, they're happy, they're playing, but they start to notice someone who's not part of it.
They see someone missing out on all this warmth. A little girl named Poppy.
And how is she described?
Well, she's at the picture of what the story calls an invisible need. She's sitting all alone by the swings. You can see she's cold, her teeth are chattering, her coat is too thin.
But the key is her emotional state.
That's the critical part. She's too shy to join the others. She's not asking for help. So she represents both physical cold and emotional isolation.
And that kind of passive suffering is often the hardest to see in the real world, isn't it?
It really is. And this is where the cup becomes more than just a tool. It becomes a moral compass.
An instructor.
An instructor in empathy, yes. The cup seems to recognize this deeper need that the children, in their own comfort, have overlooked.
So what does it do?
It floats over to Mia. And it doesn't just wait. It actively nudges her shoulder and whispers.
Someone needs warmth more than anyone else.
That nudge, that is the turning point of the entire story. It shifts the goal from just receiving comfort to actively going out and delivering it to the person with the quietest, deepest need.
The cup literally shines a spotlight on unseen loneliness.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often do we need something to just nudge us and point out the need that's hidden by shyness or silence?
So that brings us to the climax of the story. The warmest sip yet. Mia gets the message. She understands.
And she translates that awareness into action. She doesn't just shout over. She walks to Poppy, brings her to the group, and gently offers the cup.
And Poppy takes a sip.
She does. And the result? It isn't about her socks getting dry feeling brave. It's relational.
How?
The book says her whole face softened, like she'd been waiting for someone to notice her all day.
Oh, wow.
The sip wasn't just hot chocolate. It was a delivery system for recognition, for acceptance, for belonging. It solved her isolation.
And the cup itself reacts to this. This act of selfless kindness is so powerful that the magic responds.
It provides the story's big visual moment. The cocoa cup starts to glow. A bright caramel gold.
A visual confirmation.
Yes, a confirmation that this act, sharing with someone truly in need, generated the most warmth so far. And it announces that was the warmest sip yet.
So the story is making its point very clearly. Receiving comfort is nice.
But creating comfort for someone else, especially someone lonely, is on another level. It's a better, more powerful kind of warmth. The cup only reaches its highest state when it's used to fix loneliness.
And the ending confirms this lesson. The cup's role changes permanently.
From that day on, it's not just a fun thing at the lunch table. It floats beside anyone who felt lonely or cold or shy or sad.
It's now tied to the need itself, not to the kids who found it.
It basically becomes the physical embodiment of empathy, a constant reminder for the community to always look for those invisible cold spots.
Okay, so let's synthesize this. We've gone through this story. What are the core lessons here for the kids reading it and, well, for us?
I think you can break it down into a few key takeaways. First, the story teaches that warmth isn't just physical. It's an emotional state. It's about belonging, being seen.
Okay, that's one. What's the second?
The second is the whole idea of abundance. The cup, it never runs out. It teaches that resources like kindness and patience and just paying attention, they aren't scarce.
You can share them without losing any yourself.
In fact, the story suggests they grow when you show them. And then there's the third point, which I think is the most important.
The two kinds of cold.
Exactly.
Oh.
There's the obvious cold, the chattering teeth, the wet socks.
Yeah.
Easy to spot, easy to fix. But then there's the emotional cold of Poppy, the shyness, the loneliness.
The invisible cold.
And the story elevates that one. The cup glowed brightest. It was at its warmest when it addressed loneliness. That's a profound lesson about social awareness.
It's easy to help when someone asks for it.
Right. It takes real empathy to see the need in those who are too quiet to ask. The story is basically a training manual for becoming a moral detective, to look past the surface.
So the core message really is that warm hearts make warm worlds.
And that kindness grows when it's shared. It doesn't get used up, it glows brighter.
Which is a great place to leave a final thought for you, our listener. The story's characters had a magical tool, right? A glowing, talking cup to point out who needed help.
We don't have that. We have to rely on ourselves, on our own awareness.
So think about that cocoa cup for a moment. If you had an endless resource of warmth or confidence or comfort to share, who is the Poppy in your world right now? Who is that person whose need for kindness or just for recognition is the greatest, even if they're too shy or too quiet to ever ask for it?
How can we be that warmth for someone else without needing a magic cup to tell us where to look?
That's the real lesson here, about empathy and paying attention. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon with more insights.